Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today we're going to be talking about teams and players I think are going to get fired this offseason. This includes players and coaches, guys that I just don't see them coaching their current team starting next season. Or I guess not coaching, being in their position for this team next season. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit notification to be notified when I post next, and let's get into it. First off, obviously Brandon Staley. I think Brandon Staley should have been fired 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and they should have already been trying to find a new head coach. But they're gonna let him, ride the rest of the season out. Black Monday is gonna come. Every single year, the Monday after the last Sunday of football, when you don't make the playoffs, Black Monday is where a lot of coaches get fired. I think Brandon Staley is gonna get ousted on Black Monday. And does he deserve it? Yes, but it's all he'll probably land somewhere as a defensive coordinator. I just don't think he's fit to be a head coach yet. But he was a really good defensive coordinator for the Rams. I would not be shocked if he ends up being a DC somewhere, or at least a defensive assistant coach. I just don't think his journey in the NFL is done by a long shot. Especially if Josh McDaniels can keep getting chances, Brandon Staley will end up getting another chance somewhere eventually. Next up, also, this is from least probable to most probable, so I probably shouldn't have started with Brandon Staley, but anyway. Then we have Geno Smith. So the Seattle Seahawks have been horrible this year. I believe they're currently, let me see, Seahawks. I believe they're currently 6-7, 6-6, I think. So they are 6-5. But the Seahawks, they're not playing as good as they did last year. They've only scored 229 and they've allowed 250. So it's not the best. Their home record, they're 4-2 at home, 2-3 away. They've lost 2 in a row so far. They're not gonna be probably out of the playoffs. They'll probably sneak in as a 6th or 7th seed. Because currently, I think they are the 6th seed. No, wait, 4, 5. Yeah, they're the 6th seed. Sorry, they're the 6th seed. And it's, a bunch of teams in the NFC are 4 wins, 5 wins. So unless the Seahawks are on a major slide the last 4 games, which they do face 49ers, Philly, 49ers, and Dallas in the next 4 games. So I don't think Seattle's gonna go 4-0. There is a reasonable there's a chance they end up being 6-9 after 4 games. So I do think I'm gonna say Geno Smith's probably gets not be the starter next year. They're probably going to draft someone or bring someone in, draft them, and him and Geno are going to compete. And if I'm them, Geno is be a really high-paid backup. You're capable of starting if we need you to, but we got to go out with a young quarterback for the future. Last year, Geno played amazing, but he's not played the same this year. If we actually check his numbers, Geno Smith, yeah, Geno this year is 2,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Last year, Geno had 4,200 yards, 30 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, and a 69.8% completion percentage. Right now, he's at 65% in, obviously, I believe, 12 games. A lot of games with multiple interceptions, some games with no touchdowns and only interceptions. This hasn't had the same, year as he had last year. Now, is it 100% his fault? No, this defense is not as good as it was last year. Geno is still a starter in this league right now. I wouldn't bench him for Drew Lock or anything. He is the best option on the roster. And again, they are 6-5. But I just don't see this time next year Geno Smith playing football as a starter for Seattle. I think they're going to draft someone and say, hey, we're gonna, let's draft Shedeur Sanders, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. I'm blanking on everyone else in the first round as well. Caleb Williams and Drake May, they're not gonna have an opportunity to get. But that quarterback 3 through 6 options, I wouldn't be surprised if they spend a 2nd round pick on a quarterback, and hopefully he can start over Geno Smith. But I just don't see Geno as a starter next year after how bad this year's been. Next up, same division, I'm gonna go James Conner. I just don't think James Conner has that same juice as he had in the past. Obviously, James Conner 2 years ago led the league in touchdowns with 15 touchdowns. He's averaged about 780 yards in the last 3 years, 752 in 2021, 780 last year. Is on pace to finish around 780 as well this year. He's an average running back, not the best running back in the world, but he's good at short yardage. Get those 4, 5, 6 yard runs at the ends, at the red zone, or get that first down. I don't think he's gonna be a premier back again. I think they're done with that. Obviously, his last couple of years with Steelers wasn't the premier back, but with the Cardinals, started off strong. It's kind of tapered off at the last couple of years. I still think he'll be on the team next year because again, if you draft a running back who can be that speedster, like kind of like a Kenneth Walker, kind of like a Jonathan Taylor, get a bell cow running back, right? Get someone like an Alvin Kamara, a Saquon Barkley. Get something that you can make, hey, you're the focal point of our run game. James Conner, you're the Kareem Hunt to Nick Chubb. You're the Zach Charbonnet to Kenneth Walker. You're the Jamal Williams or Mark Ingram to Alvin Kamara. Like, you're the thumper. You're David. There we go. David Montgomery to Jahmyr Gibbs. You're the thunder. He's the lightning. You know, and I think it could really work. You know, he is a little older now. James Conner is 28. I believe he is a free agent as well. But again, he's not going to be expensive. You can always bring him back on a 2-year, $2-year, $15 million contract. You got a lot of money because you're one of the worst teams in the league. Bring him back, but definitely I don't think he's a starter next year. You know, you need more production from your running back, than more than 700 yards. He hasn't topped 782. His highest average is actually this year at 5.1. And he only has he's capped out at 200 carries in a season with them in Arizona. Honestly, they don't run the ball that much because Kyler Murray throws the ball a lot. But, you know, if you do bring in a running back, give him more carries, have him be the thunder, someone's lightning, and I think it could work out for him. Next up, I think there's a high chance that Mike Vrabel gets fired. I don't think it's a 100% chance or even an 80% chance. I think it's a good 60% chance that Mike Vrabel is let go from the Tennessee Titans. You know, the Titans, they've not really been the best the last couple of years. Since that AFC Championship run, they've kind of tapered out in the playoffs. Currently, they're 4-7, so they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but they're 0-6 away. Like, when you're 0-6 away, that is not good at all. That's horrible, actually. They're 4-1 at home, so when they're at home, they win every game, but when they're away, they can't win a single game. And this team, you know, obviously a lot of injuries have happened to them in the past. They're always the most injured team in the NFL. But if I'm the Tennessee Titans, I want to start fresh with Will Levis. Say, hey, Will, we're getting a brand new head coach, offensive-minded head coach, a new coordinator, a new defensive coordinator. We're gonna I wouldn't call it a rebuild. I would say a restart. You know, you got your quarterback that you want to at least give 1 full year of starting next year. You got an okay offensive line. You got some weapons. You know, I like Chiggs Okonkwo. You have Derrick Henry. You already traded Kevin Byard. You have some pieces like Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive line. I think it's interesting to start a restart, not a rebuild for the Tennessee Titans. And that restart has to happen with Mike Vrabel leaving. And again, he'll get a head coach job somewhere else that's more ready to win right now. Because I don't think Mike Vrabel wants to sit around and do a rebuild. I think he wants to try and win a Super Bowl right now. And I think he's good enough to win a Super Bowl. It just hasn't had the best roster with injury-wise to make that happen. Next, I do have Jerry Jeudy. I don't think Jerry Jeudy's going to be a starter for the Broncos next year. If he is on the Broncos, he's definitely going to be wide receiver 3 or 4. I just don't see him as a starter for them. He's most likely going to get cut or traded for like a 6th-round pick to a random NFL team. Let's say the Giants. The Giants trade for Jerry Jeudy. The Bills trade for Jerry Jeudy to try and revamp his career. I think it's a chance. But as a Browns fan who watched the Browns-Broncos this last week, Jerry Jeudy maybe had 1 or 2 catches, and they were not impactful at all. They just weren't impactful. So I think Jerry Jeudy's definitely lost his starting job. Not 100% his fault due to injuries, you know, and when he was healthy, wasn't getting really thrown the ball. Russ was having a down year, you know, the years that he had him. Then he had Drew Lock before. Like, he hasn't had a good quarterback, really, but Russ has played really well this year. And I think if Jerry Jeudy can go to a team that has a premier wide receiver 1, like an Amari Cooper, like a Stephon Diggs, like a Travis Kelce, even though he's a tight end, like a Travis Kelce, you can have Jerry Jeudy as that number 2 option, and I think he can feast off that. He has to have the heart for the game. I think in Denver, he's done. I think he's done. I think the team's done. They just need to move on in this offseason. Next, I do have Justin Fields. I'm not going to say Justin Fields is going to get fired or, you know, cut, traded for a 7th-round pick, because this last game Justin Fields played, he did not play horrible. He didn't play horrible. Against, what team was it? Was it the Vikings they just played? Yeah, against the Vikings. He had 200 yards, 73% completion percentage. He did have a couple of fumbles. You know, I'm not going to let that slide. He did have a couple of fumbles. But he's always had the ability with his legs. Has always shown an ability through the air to throw the ball as well. It's just, you know, I need more from Justin Fields. And I think the Bears need more from Justin Fields. So I think it's a very high probability that the Bears do draft a rookie quarterback, completely revamp the team. Say, you know what, Justin, we're going to trade you for a 2nd or 3rd round pick to, I don't even know, what team needs a quarterback? To the Vikings. I don't know. An AFC team would be better, probably. Probably better to go to an AFC team. Let's say the Patriots, right? Whatever. He goes to the Patriots. Justin, thank you for your time. Go to the Patriots. We're going to draft Caleb Williams, fire a head coach, fire Luke Getsy, and fire Matt Eberflus. Get a brand new offensive minded head coach. Same thing I would do for the Titans if I let Mike Vrabel go. I'd say thank you, Justin. We're gonna trade you, get brand new offensive coordinator and coach, new defensive coordinator, and a quarterback on a rookie deal. That is starting out on a rookie deal. We have a lot of pieces on defense we like, a lot of pieces on offenses we like, and let's continue this rebuild with a brand new quarterback. And I think Justin Fields is gonna go somewhere else to start. I just don't see him starting for the Bears next season. Next, I do have Jed Wills. This is another 65-75% chance it happens. But he is a little lower on the list because I think he is one of the top 16 left tackles. The thing is, he's not that good at pass blocking. Run blocking, y'all can't talk bad about Jed Wills. Like, Jed is probably one of the best run blocking left tackles in the game. But when you want to throw the ball, it just doesn't work. And the Browns are moving to a pass-heavy offense. We had Deshaun Watson. He's going to be keeps getting injured, keeps getting suspended. But we're going to continue with a pass-heavy offense, right? Jed's not good at that right now. He's never been asked to really develop that part of his game. When he came into the league, he was a really good run blocker. We were running a really run-heavy scheme with Baker Mayfield. We traded for Deshaun Watson, wanted to go with pass-heavy. Jed, the first year that he went pass-heavy, had a pretty bad year. Last year, he was he was fine. But the first 2 years, he was really solid. And then he fell off a cliff because we changed our scheme to be more pass-heavy. He was never asked to really develop that part of his game. So, yeah, obviously he's going to struggle in a pass-heavy offense when he's a run blocker. So I think Jed, we can probably get a pretty good solid pick from him. But if I'm the Browns, I'm holding on to Jed Wills for at least his 5th-year deal. Because he was a 2020 draft pick, 2021, 2022, 22, 23. Yeah, so he has, I believe, it's one more year on his deal. 24 to 25 should be the last year of his deal. Hold on to him. Trade him, no matter what. I think it's a win-win for both sides. But he's a little lower on the list because of that. And at the very end of my list, for the probably most improbable thing that's going to happen, is Bill Belichick. I think Bill Belichick does leave the Patriots, but I would not put money on it. I would not put money that Bill Belichick is leaving the Patriots, or the Patriots fire him, especially when you have a chance to draft Caleb Williams or Drake May. Either one of them could completely revamp this offense. Mac Jones, sadly, just can't throw the ball. Yes, you don't have the wide receivers to throw to, but you just can't throw the ball. And if you can get a Caleb Williams, wide receivers are going to want to come play with Caleb Williams. They see that, like, Caleb Williams has a talent to play ball. The issue is his defense is horrible. And the Patriots' defense is pretty solid. So I do think that if the Patriots do move on from Bill Belichick, it's going to be a lot worse than just, oh, man, get a new head coach. Like, I think it's going to be a lot worse than that. There's so many issues on this team, and the defense is not the issue. Like, the defense for the Patriots is fine. It's not great. It's not top 10. It's mediocre, but it's passable in the NFL. The offense is not. So if you can get a Caleb Williams or a Drake May into this offense, I think you could keep Bill Belichick longer, and he'd want to stay longer, and you wouldn't fire him. But if you slip to 5, 6, 7 in the draft order, I think both sides are like, hey, you know what? We didn't get a quarterback. Bill, thank you for your time here. Go to another team, become a head coach. We're going to find someone and start a rebuild with not a top prospect. But yeah, that's my rankings of who I think is going to get fired in the offseason. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.